Hi, everybody. Welcome to another week of our wellness series. Um, Last week we spoke about, we left you with a couple of tasks of, writing out your lists. And so this week we're going to help you, identify the importance of planning and, give you an example of how to sort of break up your week and plan your week. So as you can see, we've got a template here that Tash has put together. Say hi, Tash.
Hey, how are you?
So Tash has put this template together, through her Become Aligned uh, Instagram stuff. So, through her business. So this is something similar. This is something you can use, or you can contact Tash to get hold of. But it's really important that if we're able to break things down and plan, um, and understand where our week's going, it just gives us a really clear picture. So we left with the task last week of making two lists. What things do you love to do, and what tasks do you need to do? And it's really important that we understand the balance between that. So, you know, for example, you might have things that you need to do would be your education, so your schooling. Things you need to would be your training commitments, or so whether it's training with a team or whether it's training by yourself, what things do you need to do to keep yourself going? Um, Now, how specific you got with that is really up to you. So we've broken it down. So, for example, I've made a couple of lists of things that I need to do each week. So this is a list of some of the things that I need to do each week, and there's more to it. Now, not every week I'm going to need to do some of these things, but these are just some of the examples that I need to sort of go when I'm filling out my week. Okay, what things do I need to fit in? Where? How do I fit it in? And some things sort of change. So, and then I've also got things that I love to do. As you can see, coffee is on both, and chocolate is definitely on the love to do. So, but we can enjoy that. But yeah, look, and as you can see, seeing friends. So we did a poll on our Instagram story during the week, and majority of people came back and said, that the option they ticked was seeing their friends as something they love to do each week, which is really important because the people interaction is what helps us grow as people. Getting an emotional understanding and that connection is something that's really important for us as people, to grow and understand. So yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to make your list, pause the video now, 30 seconds, write down things each week. What 4 or 5 things do you need to do each week? And then what things do you love to do, that going to help, break up that time, and help you unwind and relax. So Tasha's going to sort of explain to you the importance of planning. Um, and I'm going to go through and put a couple of things in, and while we're going through. Over to you, Tash.
Thank you. So, how does planning benefit us? So, ultimately, what we do makes us who we are. So, are you filling your week with the things that are helping you move towards your goal? And are they helping you become the person that you want to be? Because what we do each day becomes our week, and then it becomes our month, meaning that every day is building who you are. So I want you to think back where you half planned, where you decided an action but no time to do it. So think about a run tomorrow. You decide, yep, okay, I'm going to run tomorrow. You wake up tomorrow morning and you think, no, it's way too cold. I'm not feeling it. I'll do it later. Then by the time lunch comes around, someone's gone, hey, do you want to grab lunch? You go, yeah, no worries. And you think, I'll do that run later in the day, later that night. And then it gets to the night, your favorite TV show comes on and all of a sudden you haven't gone for your run. And I know when it's been about physical activity for me, I know I do get a little bit annoyed at myself. And I guess if we're planning to do it, there's a purpose to it. There's a reason why, and it's important to us. But when we do that, we don't actually let ourselves succeed. So when we don't actually plan, we aren't making it easy for us. And that's where we can start procrastinating and things like that. So when we're planning, it also removes decision making. As goalkeepers, we know decision making is an extremely important part of our role. But did you know you can get decision fatigue? Kenny, did you know that?
I didn't actually, but it's a very important thing. I make lots of decisions. Uh, you know, I try and minimize how many decisions I need to make. So sticking to the same coffees or similar coffees and similar Tim Tams. What can I say? And
Mhm.
chocolate. I know what I
Perfect.
want. I'm a man of habit. Habits are good.
Easy, easy. So we can
Chocolate
actually
is bad, by
wear,
the way. It's not healthy for athletes. Just so
but
that
if
is,
it makes you feel better, a little bit is okay.
yeah, moderation.
Um, so we can actually wear out our ability to make decisions throughout the day. So endless decisions are things like what to wear, what to eat, when to eat. Do I say this? Do I not say that? Do I do this? Do I not do that? Do I go this way, that way? So we don't actually realize the amount of decisions that we are making. Like I said, there's an endless list of them. And making too many decisions in a day drains us both mentally and emotionally, which means we make the easy choice, but it's not always the most beneficial choice. So think about being exhausted after your day, coming home, and you ask yourself, should I go for a run? No is obviously the easy answer. You're exhausted, so it's easy, but that's probably not going to benefit who you want to be in the long run or the goal that you want if you're even considering that question. The second option is that when you are drained, that you avoid decisions altogether. I don't know if you've ever had a moment like this. I see it mostly around when people say, what do you want to eat? And you get to the end of the day, and normally I would love to choose dinner and choose what I want, but by the end of the day, I just do not want to make another decision. And we normally don't realize why. We just think, I don't know, we'll give the choice to someone else. But it's normally because we're tired of making decisions from the start of the day. So it's probably lucky that Kenny only likes one flavor of Tim Tams, because otherwise, at the end of the day, after all his decisions, he would probably end up buying every single flavor in the shop just because he doesn't want to have to make another choice.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm saying it's a good thing.
Sampling and feedback. It's understanding what you like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So last week we did touch on a little bit that motivation can be impacted by not having enough energy. And now we know that decisions or too many decisions in the day actually impact our energy too. So by planning what we need to get done, we can give our energy to the task or action we actually want to do rather than trying to motivate ourselves or spending time thinking about how we can procrastinate and not start the task. So I want to have a little look at how Kenny's going with his timetable. I
I'm
love that
feeling
you're
slowly
putting your
getting.
need to do in first because they are the important things.
Yes, as you can see, I filled in coffee as a need to do. Definitely, that's a need to do. Definitely a need to do each day. One coffee hit for the day. So basically, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm sort of filling in, sort of what sessions that I'd be coaching. Now this can obviously my weeks sort of differ, but this is sort of like a generic sort of thing. Doing social content, Zoom calls. Now, Zoom calls could be for either doing sessions. Zoom calls could be doing having online meetings with people. Like Tash and I are doing now with Zoom calls rather than doing it in person. So these things take up time. So I'm just slowly working my way through. So we then got sort of my. I haven't even got to the weekend, so this is just Monday to Friday. Now, there's a lot of other things that get involved. Um, so that would go in there.
So the reason we put your need to do in first is because then you can kind of use what you love to do as a bit of a reward. You can set it up as, if there's the things you don't necessarily like, you can actually structure your week in a way that's going to kind of motivate you. So what you love to do, you're using it to help kind of create those habits that you want each week and build that routine.
Uh, there's always things to do. Put that there.
So by planning now, you start to create your routine and the habits in your week. So your habits are the things that we automatically do. They're action without thought, and it's a bunch of habits that create the routine. So in planning, we're kind of making it they're just things that we do. We just do it because it's part of our routine. It's part of our part of our plan. So if you're planning in what you need to do, and that's what's moving you towards your goal, if you plan that into your weekly schedule, you're going to create a routine which benefits you without thought. So Kenny might not love everything on his must do or his need to do list,
No.
but it's getting him where he wants to be. So it's kind of like if you decided that at 6:30 a.m. every morning you were going to get up and stretch, you want it to become habit. So it's just 6:30, you know exactly what you're doing. So if you plan that in, that's going to start it. You're not going to start it unless it's planned. So right now, if Kenny thought of something brand new that he wanted to chuck into his week, now would be the time for him to put it in to make it start happening.
Yes, well, so there's lots. So as you can see, this sort of time is filling up.
And Kenny, would you say with some of them, there is a crossover because even though you have to do it, you still enjoy doing it as well?
Oh, for sure. So the coaching I obviously enjoy. You don't, you sort of coach to enjoy it and get the most out of it. But even developing the social content, there's a lot of things that I get to learn new things about how social media is working. For instance, yesterday I put up that question on our Instagram story. Now, it was only after that I realised it was maybe the wrong format of question to put up. But you know what? You learn from it. There's a lot of things that I'm learning through, through the business admin. Some of the business admin stuff includes some of the stuff we're doing with the website and doing with, looking up, working on plans and our strategy moving forward as a business. So for me, I get a bit of enjoyment. Now, it's enjoyment because it's exciting and looking down the future. But there's also a lot of things that, I don't necessarily enjoy, but, I have to just tick them off and I just have to get them done. And if you look at it in terms of there's things that I don't enjoy, but I learn a lot from, and I could spend, there's been times, especially during our recent times, where I spent 3 hours doing stuff on the computer, looking at stuff for a website and different options like that, only to turn out that it's not something that's going to work. You can't do anything about that. That's just the way it is. So yeah, it's really important that every opportunity that when you're learning something, if you find a positive in it, you're more likely to get something out of it, and you're more likely to complete the task. And I know personally that's what I find. But there are still plenty of things that that I don't necessarily enjoy, but obviously still have to do it. And that's how it's like anything. To get the best out of your goalkeeping, you've got to do things that you may not enjoy. You're going to have to put in the hard work. You're going to have to do those extra runs. You're going to have to do the agility work. You're going to have to do the strength and conditioning, ice baths. There's a lot of people who not a big fan of ice baths. They're a little bit cold, funny enough. But for your recovery, it's really important that you do those things. So yeah, so you get just as much reward, if not more, out of some of the things that you don't enjoy as you do with the things you do enjoy. So it's you got to have a good balance to it for sure.
Just when, guys, if you're doing this at home, I know it looks quite daunting because there's so much of that dark blue of what you need to do. But if there's maybe things that cross over, you might change the color of it so that it's actually, you don't straight away go, oh, this is just stuff I have to do. It's going to be things I don't enjoy. If you change the shade of it as well, you'll know, okay, this is things that I'm getting to benefit myself because I need to do it, but I'm also enjoying it. So even just playing around with colors and things like that to make it work for you, it's going to make a difference. Or this can all be written out by hand, right? So this is just just an example, you can get a bit of paper and write it all down. The thing is just knowing what you want to include, and you want to make sure that the things that you need to do are actually going to be aligning you to your goal and where you want to get to, either as a person or a player.
Here we go. Change the color of it.
Sorted.
All over it. So, you know, this is, look, again, as Tash says, this is something you might be able to write out to, you know, make it easier for you. You know, now there's different ways to do it. Everybody's going to work differently. You know, and it's just really important you find what works for you. You
I
know,
think
you
it's
have
good.
to find the system. For me, like, I still prefer using, when I'm writing, oh, wrong one, note to self. When I'm writing my week out, I prefer to use a physical diary. Now, not a lot of people like that. Everything's, you know, obviously with technology, the way it's going, you know, it's a case of, you know, everybody's doing things, saving things on their phone. But for me, I'd rather sit down and write out a physical diary, get my diary out, write it out. You know, so for me, I get a visual. You know, it's the same when I'm doing my uni studies, or I'm writing out ideas. For me, handwriting it gives me that sort of thing. You know, it gives me that, helps me remember it, helps me engage in it and be creative with it if I need to be. So if I'm brainstorming, and but everybody's different. So as Tash said, this is just a template that, you know, this is a template that Tash has put together. It's fantastic. It breaks it up the days. It's clear. It's visual. You know, and that's what it's got to be. It's got to be clear. It's got to be visual. It's got to be easy to understand, but also easy to adjust. If you say, you know what, I need to change that, you know what, I can change that, bang, and put something else in there. Because whilst you're going to have things locked in, you know, you're from school from this time to this time, you've got to have that little bit of flexibility outside of those times. You know what, training might get moved half an hour later. It rains, you know what, now you're training somewhere else at a different venue because the ground's closed. Whatever it is, you're going to have a little bit of flexibility. You know, look, for instance, my week changes. I try and set out what sessions I know what sessions that I'm coaching through the week, where I have to be and what I'm doing. What I do during the day sometimes has to adjust. Sometimes I have to make phone calls, and I'm on the phone trying to talk to people about, you know, different programs. Or I have to give more time to my uni because I have a uni assessment, or I got to give more time to my to the business side of things because there's a project that we're working on or something we're working on that really needs attention. So it's, while there's a solid structure there and your planning's there, it's also got to be flexible enough to cater for you know, some of the things that you can't predict, and able to adjust to make it a productive week for yourself. That's the important thing.
I think it's just about experimenting. You might write out and include everything that you need to for your first week or your first go at this. You might find, okay, after doing that, no, I need to adjust things. So this doesn't have to be your set in stone. This is just an experiment. And really, the whole reason for this is that in having habits and actions in your week that are going to benefit you, like I said, those need to do, you're putting in the things that are important. You're allowing yourself to move closer to your goal without it having to seem like a chore. Right? It's easier when you just know what you're doing in the afternoon rather than having to think about it. So you want to create a schedule that you can both enjoy and feel satisfied by at the end of the week. You want to know that you've had some fun, you've enjoyed yourself, but you've also engaged in things that are moving you closer to where you want to be. So planning is really simple. It keeps us progressing, it minimizes our distractions, and it can even keep us motivated. But often it's that we don't enjoy the planning part of it. But you can see how this hasn't taken Kenny very long at all. All right. And it doesn't have to be, like we said, it doesn't have to be set in stone. If you set a rough guide that you're going to experiment with for the next week, then you can come back and change it if you need to. But a little bit of planning now can make a massive difference in you, like I said, easily getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, so one of the things I enjoy doing is annoying Tash a couple of times a week. So I've added those are key things, are things that I love to do. So I prioritize them as one of the first things that I've put in that I love to do during the week.
I like
Uh,
that they look like a bit of a reward at the end of some
uh,
hard blocks of work.
no, I don't think it's a reward. I think it's more a case of so especially after my uni work or business admin, you just yeah, I need somebody that's going to cop the brunt of it. So
Mm.
someone that's easy to pick on and Tash is it. Yeah. So look, yeah, as you can see, like that's not completely filled, and there's heaps, there's a lot more I'd add in there, but as you can see, as Tash said, that hasn't taken me long to do it, and you'll find that sometimes your week will fill up pretty quickly, and you go, oh, where's this? Just also be realistic with the time frames that you set yourself. So for instance, here with the social content, I know it can take me up to an hour depending on the content I'm putting together. There are times when some of the content, especially with the tactical videos and the technical videos, if I'm having to edit and or put it together, it takes me longer, so it might take me 2 hours. So I need to adjust that, and then when I'm planning, going, you know what, I need to be realistic. What content am I putting together? um, so you've got to be realistic with your timing as well. And you know what? It's not sort of at 7:31. You know what? That's it. It's if you need to finish something off, you just need to be aware. Okay, well, I'm eating into this time. Of okay, you know what? My uni work, is supposed. I'm due to finish my uni work at about 1:30. But you know what? I'm right in the middle of something. I need to finish this off before I can go and do my next thing. I need to finish it off. Okay, well, now I've got into that time. What can I adjust in my day? You know, have I got time to do that? Or what can I start and what can I do in the time? And is that going to affect how I go later on? So don't stop something halfway through if you're right in the middle of something just for the sake of, I know that's, I've got to stop it there. Finish it off. Or if you know it's going to take you a longer time, spend 10 minutes, make notes for yourself for the next time you come back to it. If it's a uni assessment or if it's, you know what, okay, these are the notes I need to look on for next time. Yeah, and you just write some dot points. So when you come back and visit it, you know where you've left it, you know where you've picked up from it. And you'll find it easy to get back into the rhythm because you've written down ideas that you've got and it just helps you with the lead in. So you've got to be smart about your allocation of time. You've got to be smart about how you manage it. And so it's really important that we can do those things as well. So yeah, Tash, is anything else you'd like to add with in terms of that their planning and decision making?
Yeah, I might get you to just scroll down to that bottom corner where I've broken some stuff down a bit further. So if you don't just want it to be must do and love to do, these are some examples of what you can break it down to. Especially as an athlete, you want to be looking at, okay, well, how am I recovering? We know that that's super, super important. We want to look at how are we having a stress release, things like that, especially around work. But these areas and looking at the different skills you want to work on might help you break it down. So if this is going to be more beneficial for you as well, just pause the video now and start making some notes. But the main thing is you want to remember that what we do in our day, which turns out to be our week and our month, is creating who we are. So you want to plan accordingly to make sure that you're actually getting to where you want to be. Because if you're not having a purposeful day now, then you're not making it easy for yourself to succeed and reach kind of who or where you want to be going.
No, that's exactly right. And look, this is all individual. Everybody's going to do it differently. How specific you want to be, what things you just got to make a balance. If you're filling this out and all you have in there is things that you love doing, you know, and it's not going to help you have a really productive week, then you need to look at the balance and go, all right, well, what do I need to do? My education's important, or time with the family, or as you can see, I haven't even touched on the weekends, because that's just Monday to Friday. So it's a balance. It's what helps us. Everybody's going to be different. and everybody's going to have a different set of goals. Everybody's going to learn differently. Everybody's going to work differently. So you've got to work out yourself what you need to do. But the best way to start, make a list. What things do you need to do? What things do you love to do? Okay, and as and as you can see, you can break it down. If you need to be really specific with what you're doing, break it down. You know what? I'm doing physical activity. I'm going to do long distance runs today. I'm doing agility work today. I'm doing gym work. Um, I'm going bike riding, and then you've taken that decision right out of it because you've already planned that's what you're going to do. So yeah, it's really important that you can do and understand that as well, and what process you need to help you be beneficial and have a really productive week. All right, Tash, anything you'd like to add, or yeah?
No, just remember that the planning now is all about keeping it easy and making it easy for ourselves. We love it when things are easy. So if you take the time to do this today, you're the only person that sees the benefits from it. So it's worth doing.
Well, good luck with that. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's. We'd love to hear your feedback. So if there's something, if there's something you'd like us to talk about, or we'd love to hear your feedback on what you think of the videos. Are you enjoying what we're putting out? Is it helping you? Is it helping you with, with your mindset and how you approach things? Let us know. Get in touch. You can leave a comment on our videos. You can send us a message. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and social media, Facebook. It'll be on YouTube as well. Make sure you get on to Become Aligned and follow Tash and all the great work she's doing. Again, she's designed this sort of template. If you want to get a hold of this, make sure you get in touch with us. So get in touch with Tash and myself, and we'll send you. We can send you through a copy, or design something that works for you. Okay, even if it's just a piece of paper. But yeah, look, stay safe, take care. Go through this, make the time to do it. That's taken us 5-10 minutes just to do that. You can do this. It doesn't take long. It just takes the effort and the time to sit and do it, and you'll see the benefit of it because you'll have your week planned out, and your head will be so much more, will be clearer because you know where you're going, you know what you need to do, and it helps eliminate decisions that you don't need to make, and helps you make better decisions throughout the week as well. All right. So good luck with that. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you soon.